woman should be in jail. Literally, Hillary Clinton should be behind bars. And so should the people who worked for her who did this. This is so blatantly corrupt. She wanted to distract from her email scandal. She cooked up a plan to accuse Trump of being a Russian agent in order to distract from her own legitimate scandal. She made up a scandal about Trump being a Russian asset. And they banked on the intel agencies working with her to perpetuate this lie, and it appears they were only too happy to assist.
How does Megyn Kelly's ruthless accuracy clash with a tradition based on strength, spin, and well-practiced comebacks? Complete combustion. Hillary Clinton, armored by decades of political experience, but Megyn arrived with a sense of humor that cut through all false pretenses and truth that was as cutting as a scalpel. In real time, the myth is brutally unraveled without any pity or nonsense. There was more to this than a roast, it was a reckoning. And Hillary was unaware that the spotlight was changing so quickly.
We now know how Russiagate got started, and we know that it was all a lie started by the Hillary Clinton campaign. That the Hillary Clinton campaign realized she was in trouble because of her email scandal, which had broken in 2015 in the wake of Benghazi. We found these emails of hers that were weird, and people were like, what server was that on, and so on. And it created a problem for her all the way.
Like the ghost of prior political scandals, Hillary Clinton brings a long record of mistakes that nonetheless still reverberate with entitlement to every public appearance. Megyn Kelly did not simply enter that area of tragedy. She had a spotlight, a loudspeaker, and a sarcastic flamethrower that could melt Hillary's staged smiles. Because Hillary is no longer even a politician at this time, she's a political rerun that keeps playing in the background and acting like the main attraction.
I have a description. Here's a part, I won't make you watch the whole, a part of the trailer for Gutsy.
Okay, here we go. We're hitting the road to shine a light on women who inspire us to be bolder and braver.
Leadership doesn't look one way. It's a giant rainbow.
You're not gonna break me down. You get worn out before I do.
Women who push us outside our comfort.
Megyn found the weak points without having to dig very far. Hillary's public record resembles a buffet of political face-planting served cold, with deleted emails and additional sauce blamed on someone else. Hillary's remarks about leadership are akin to a GPS recalculating after colliding with a lake. The passenger in the back, Megyn Kelly, is also wondering why anyone believed this driver should have a license in the first place.
Clinton is now pretending like she did not call Donald Trump an illegitimate president when he beat her in 2016. She's expressing her horror and how indignant she is over him challenging the 2020 election results. And okay, that's fine. You can say you don't like how Trump behaved after, whatever, his loss, January 6th, the whole bit. But you cannot, if you are Hillary Clinton, play the whatever challenge and...
There's a certain humor in the way Hillary maintains her relevancy with the grace of someone putting together a campaign using speeches at universities, podcasts, and patronizing interviews. Megyn was unconcerned about being courteous. She just struck a match against the meticulously constructed illusion, allowing it to disintegrate before her. When it comes to leadership, Hillary's style makes people long for quiet. She appears as a reminder of all the political blunders we hoped would have been immortalized.
Guys, but just for the record, let's play SOT 10.
I do think that he knows that he's an illegitimate president. I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did. And as I've been telling candidates who have come to see me, you can run the best campaign, you can even become the nominee, and you can have the election stolen.
She no longer campaigns. Like that pop-up on your screen, she persistently asks whether you want to become a subscriber to failure. Megyn handled every moment of that lingering as though it were a comedic sketch that was just waiting for lines. The question mark is the Clinton Foundation, not a foundation. That is. Claiming to be humanitarian, it is a monument to lost opportunities. Irony somehow tripped over a banana peel and fell face first into a stack of confidential information every time Hillary talks about integrity.
And as she got closer to Election Day, she decided to concoct 2 lies about Donald Trump to distract from her email scandal. She got the Steele dossier through this Fusion GPS company that her campaign paid, and she got this group CrowdStrike, which was the one responsible for the hack into that. That's the one that said that the Russians hacked.
Instead of exaggerating, Megyn Kelly simply held up a mirror and let the ridiculousness show. Like a slot machine, Hillary's moral compass keeps spinning and deflecting. Before preaching unity and fanning herself with a speech headlined, "Why I Should Have Won," she destroys bridges. Megyn just pointed to the debris and said, "How many times must history shout no thanks before you pay attention?" Hillary still believes that she is feared, much like in an old-school video game boss battle. However, the cheat codes are no longer available, the graphics are jerky, and the soundtrack consists solely of her criticizing gravity, sexism, and Russia. Through spin, Megyn cut through everything like a hot knife. Hillary is a classic example of self-branding, complete with contradictions and none of the charm. Do you recall when she made an effort to relate? As though exchanging a flannel for a pantsuit could reverse decades of refined evasion.
Clinton just weighed in publicly again on why she lost. And just in case you were thinking it was because she didn't go to Wisconsin, you are wrong. It is you, women of America. It is your fault. She now sits down for an interview and decides that the reason she didn't win is American females. That they didn't like that she wasn't.
Megyn Kelly gave the impression that the entire situation was a late-night play composed by uncultured interns. Megyn used Hillary's self-importance as a peanutter, as she walked into interviews, blindfolded, swinging hard, and slicing it open with razor-sharp wit. Hillary acts as though the world owes her a thank you note simply for existing. Like a magician protecting secrets, Hillary advocates openness, while using winks and trapdoors. Megyn sliced through the footnotes that accompany every speech, which are more numerous than a tax audit, by just laughing at the obvious. Red tape, firewalls, and layers of denial cover of any truth that may be present. The trail of political, casualty staffers, funders, even entire areas that cast a single vote and never again should also not be forgotten. Nothing shouts for the people like $250,000 speeches to banks while tweeting pay equality from a Gulf Stream, and Megyn made Hillary's treatment of support into a joke.
Hillary Clinton decided to drop an op-ed in the New York Times today that's entitled, "How much dumber will this get?" And she uses Signalgate and the messaging by Pete Hegseth and Mike Walls and JD Vance and Tulsi and others on there as the jumping off point to talk about how dumb the Trump administration is. Some highlights. She calls...
Not to be overlooked is Hillary's constant shifting from a progressive warrior to a pragmatic moderate, then to a feminist icon or a geopolitical specialist who appears on frozen sheets. Megyn Kelly did more than simply expose that contradiction. She hitched it to a rocket and sent it hurtling into the realm of illusion, where Hillary's supporters continue to believe that 2016 was a clerical error. The product remains unchanged, and the slogans seem like throwbacks despite her approach of rebooting and rebranding. Her shifting of blame is like slow-motion interpretative dance. With the delight of someone who has been waiting years for the curtain to drop, Megyn assessed the performance after letting it unfold. Hillary's sense of control falters without any prodding. The dance is stale, and the spotlight is worn out. Despite claiming to be a unifying force, she is a magnet for division, bringing a mist of confusion, fatigue, and theater to any situation. Simply grabbing a bullhorn, Megyn ensured that the joke was delivered.
Are gutsy. And in case you just need a little bit more of a description, here's a part, I won't make you watch the whole, a part of the trailer for Gutsy.
Okay, here we go. We're hitting the road to shine a light on women who inspire us to be bolder and braver.
Leadership doesn't look one way. It's a giant rainbow.
What's funny is Hillary's fixation. With legacy, she claims to have broken ceilings, but all she has done is collect the shards and charge people to stand close to them. Upon penetrating that glass facade, Megyn Kelly discovered nothing but outdated press releases and rehashed slogans. Though she gives footnotes that no one reads, Hillary aims for history books. She is directly involved in the conflict, hurling insults like a political pundit who has forgotten the rules. That mayhem was transformed into a blooper reel by Megyn. Every smug denial of responsibility, every speech, and every tweet sounds like a sitcom without a laugh track. Passive-aggressive interviews and book tour that sell like paperweights have given Hillary a platform, and she keeps coming back like the answer to a question no one has posed since 2016.
Politics for a minute. Hillary Clinton is back doing a late night tour. She spoke with Jimmy Fallon and she had some thoughts on this boiling down to Trump versus Biden again.
What do you say to voters who are upset that those are the two choices?
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, I love that.
Right? And you know, it's kind of like one is old and effective and compassionate, has a heart, and really cares about people. And one is old and has been charged with 90
by exposing the entire business model power by nostalgia, strategy by memory, and relevance by volume. Megyn Kelly did more than simply destroy the brand. Every time Hillary tries to change the subject, Megyn is already pointing to the tiny print and flipping receipts. There is a misconception that Hillary is impervious to criticism because she has been through so much. However, it so much entails strategic ambition, image management, and avoiding actual repercussions. Megyn destroyed that delusion. She made fun of the spin, not the difficulties. Resilience is not the same as practice deflection, and Hillary has been trapped in the latter. Since before cell phones, the character was written, directed, and narrated by Hillary, so Megyn didn't have to kill it. All Megyn accomplished was draw attention to the unfulfilled plot twist. Witnessing Hillary reinvent herself is like witnessing the same old scripted revival of a show that no one requested. Megyn pulled back the veil and reminded everyone that the story might never have been so fantastic if the ending remained the same. What was the irony? As she pitches long-rejected initiatives with classic confidence,
Joe and Kamala can win by 3 million votes and still lose. Take it from me. So we need numbers overwhelming so Trump can't sneak or steal his way to victory.
Okay. So why can't a smart guy like Maher know that? I mean, he genuinely seemed surprised to hear this from me. He doesn't, I think it's just his true hatred.
Hillary continues to believe that the microphone belongs to her. Without arguing, Megyn Kelly demonstrated what happens when fashion trumps content. The campaign was over years ago. The throng have dispersed and the applause has become echo. Megyn has already exposed the blunders, the chaos behind the scenes, and the script supervisors face bombing. But Hillary is still in the spotlight writing another act. Hillary is the joke, not the future, as seen by her biography tour end. Embarrassing photo ops, she enters as if fate had stolen her, as if destiny had abandoned her. However, Megyn crushed that fantasy apartment with a closet full of unsolved questions and 10 years of reality checks. Hillary's greatest talent was merely surviving scandals, never resolving them.
Created this entire storyline around the Russians doing these terrible things in tandem with Donald Trump in order to, yes, hurt Trump, but also mostly to distract from her own scandal. And we also know that Obama knew. He knew about it. He was told by his intelligence agencies in the late summer and fall of 2016.
Instead of merely rehashing Hillary's scandals, Megyn Kelly reveled in them like a political fireworks display. All of Hillary's appearances, including her hairstyle, speeches, and viral attempts, have been tried and tested by consultants. Megyn, however, exposed someone who has altered her story more times than she has straightforwardly responded to a question. Right in the center of the meticulously constructed story is where the roast ended up. Hillary is now researched, ridiculed, and overexposed rather than feared. She is a rerun, rising each time with more stage smoke and less flame than a phoenix. Even though politics has changed, she continues to try out for a cancelled role. Megyn simply pointed at the empty spotlight, saving herself the trouble of shouting. The hurt is that Hillary left a legacy. Her name is now more of a joke than a promise. Megyn informed everyone of the reasons the sequel failed in addition to shattering the myth